There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Do 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 do. God, it feels like I haven't recorded one of these in ages, and that's not true. It's no longer than usual. It's been 2 weeks. Anyway, welcome back to Build Showcase, series where I show you builds. Actually, I suppose it has been a while. Well, no, because the previous Driller one was, of course, slightly different, but the previous Scout one, which was the previous episode, was normal. It also didn't do very well, but I do want to thank people in general for how well actually a lot of those videos have done over time. We're getting some pretty good views on a lot of the previous entries in this series. And I guess I have to admit, now is the time to admit a certain amount of defeat, and I'm sort of running out of builds, which is sort of where the series is going to take a different turn into sort of being more focused on things like the Driller one, even though that didn't go down as well as it could have. Turns out that was mainly because Ice Storm was actually more unanimously liked than I realised, which is fine because I've come to like it as well. But anyway, we're back around to Engineer. My main, is he my favourite class? I don't know. I don't have a favourite class if it's not Engineer, but I don't think I have a favourite class, so it's not Engineer. Either way, the build I'm going to be showing you today is an interesting one. I definitely recommend using it. It's sort of born out of a real desire to do something with the PGL that is not standard. If you know me at all, you will know that I fucking hate all three of these. In fact, I also hate this one too. I kind of hate the PGL in general. I hate the PGL's status, I think. The PGL is an extremely unhealthy weapon that has a lot of favour in the community, and I really don't appreciate it because I think it's being held back by the fact that people like it. Yeah, I mean it as well, because these are good, but they could be so much more balanced. RJ250 is a disgusting cretin of an overclock. I personally believe it should actually be a clean, maybe. That doesn't actually change your damage output. It would probably be better, but it wouldn't be RJ250 and people would get angry. But either way, I want to spit in the face of tradition, I want to spit in the face of consensus and make a good PGL build that doesn't use any of those. And that's where Clean Sweep comes in. Clean Sweep allows us to achieve the highest radius possible for the PGL without Fat Boy. And let's be honest, if you're taking Fat Boy, you're going to be going all ammo, so this is higher than you're going to be getting with Fat Boy anyway. 6.1 meters radius, 12.2 meters diameter. That is huge, especially with Incendiary Compound being as overpowered as it is. That's 12.2 diameter, like a 12.2 diameter explosion that's going to set on fire everything in that radius, in that diameter. I actually will talk about breakpoints in a minute, but let's just go through what's going on here. So we want maximum radius. Why? Well, I'm kind of greedy, to be honest. You could actually probably get better use out of it with max ammo, but that actually makes a big difference here, especially when we use proximity trigger, which actually changes the additions into percentages. You can see it goes down by 1 there, but if we add proximity trigger, suddenly 1.1, it actually overall increases the amount you have by 10%, as well as the amount added by upgrades by 10%. So I take fragmentary shell because I want to achieve the biggest radius possible, which means we can kill huge amounts of enemies that are spread out over large distances. It's actually not that hard to come across hordes that deserve it. It's sort of like it's like the Fat Boy conundrum, but more palatable because you have the ammo to do it with, and you're also not wasting damage. Everything that's, because we're not adding any more damage than we need to. So I guess I'll just talk about Clean Sweep. Clean Sweep is the chosen overclock here, not for a immediate reason. This is something that's been built up over time, and I've sort of realised that Clean Sweep is probably my favourite PGL overclock. Obviously, it gives us that radius, and it gives us a bit more AoE damage, and it's actually come to be now the most important part of this build. And it's all to do with getting that extra bit of radius, but also breakpoints, changing breakpoints for the better. There's one very specific breakpoint actually that this changes without us having to add any damage through modifications. That's why in tier 2 we take ammo, because we want more shots. It makes it more flexible as well. Unfortunately, we still can't set a Praetorian on fire, for example, but this gives us more leeway with it to potentially use it to fear a Praetorian or something like that. This just gives us more leeway. You actually don't need, honestly, you don't need all this ammo. It really does surprise me how well you can do with something that just does a big explosion. But ammo is the way to go here, because taking the damage, because we are still unfortunately relying on incendiary compound. That's not going to change. I find it too satisfying to change. I think it's broken. I think it needs to change. I think this should be replaced with a Fallout mod. Take the Fat Boys radiation Fallout and replace the armor breaking with it. That's my pitch. But yeah, because of the way this works, and we're not going to change any breakpoints by taking more damage. So we're taking more ammo and tier 3 incendiary compound for every reason. It kills everything you need the deep core PGL to kill in its radius, and it actually takes advantage of the full radius. Unfortunately, it's probably the reason that incendiary compound is so broken is that it doesn't suffer from damage fall off, where normal explosions do. Basically, the PGL, it drops to about 50% damage at the very edge of the blast, I think, so you actually lose a lot of damage. You will not kill grunts at the edge of the blast, even this way. And I personally believe that it needs to. That's something, a base change that I think needs to be made. And I think it would be better off done by increasing the base damage by a lot, rather than removing damage fall off. That way, incendiary compound actually keeps that advantage, because I think that is something that makes it unique that I actually like. So it has that. It doesn't suffer from damage fall off, which means it's going to deal the full amount of heat in the entire area, which means it's going to set on fire everything that we can set on fire in the entire area. Also, fire is just very strong in general from a wave clearing perspective due to heat spread. So it's an obvious pick. It's the best pick in this tier. The only time you wouldn't pick it is with Fat Boy, where you're probably going to take high velocity grenades instead. That's it. Tier 4, radius, obviously. This is a big radius. Actually, it's the same as the tier 1 one, but it's still there. Damage isn't going to change any breakpoints. Stun is not going to help us here. And we have sort of similar things in other areas. It's much more worth taking radius than anything else in this tier, basically. Tier 5 is same reason, but not exactly. We take proximity trigger. It's kind of hard to explain why, but it does give us some radius. It gives us that 0.5 extra. It also adds 10% onto all the other upgrades. But apart from that, it's kind of difficult to explain. I just tend to prefer it with this build. I think it really is actually the radius. So beyond that, maybe the other reason will be discovered. It's definitely useful against Mactera though. It definitely does a good job there. So that could be used as decent explanation for using proximity trigger. Unfortunately, using proximity trigger also makes it so you really can't use the thing against single targets in a way that sometimes you can. It's actually the reason why I do like RJ250 to use. I don't know why that one has proximity trigger. One of these, this one, I actually really enjoy, because we have so much ammo. We can actually use it to one-shot certain high-value targets like acid spitters and trijaws, and that's really satisfying. We lose out on that here, but we also can kill so many more enemies. Like, genuinely, it's actually impressive how many more enemies you can kill than with RJ250. That's something that I am kind of going for today, is also showing that you don't need RJ250 to have a basic PGL that does its job well. So, everything else about the build is sort of a bit scatterbrained. It's a very basic all-rounder Warthog here. We don't have good long-range single target. I think that's obvious, but up close, the Warthog's always going to do well, especially against weak points. This is a really basic setup. I reckon you could go whatever way you want with it. I actually think also this build, actually any of these primaries I have here work just fine for this build. They've all been tested, vetted against it, and it's just fine. But I tend to prefer the simplicity of the Warthog combined with the simplicity of the PGL. So this Warthog could take fire rate because we get reload speed from our clean overclock. So fire rate is much more valuable for DPS, otherwise it actually feels really slow. Tier 2, I take extra ammo. I don't think you really meet any significant breakpoints by increasing the pellet count, and I'd much rather have the flexibility. Tier 3, recoil, just makes the whole thing more usable. We don't need the reload speed, and we don't need the magazine size because of the reload speed added by our overclock. So recoil just makes the whole thing feel so much smoother. Tier 4 damage, because this does actually affect breakpoints, I think. I mean, honestly, it's actually kind of interesting. Sometimes I wish I had armor breaking, but I need this thing for single target damage when it counts, you know? It's like, but then again, enemies like Stingtails and Brundles are quite annoying, actually. So, you can be quite flexible with the primaries. I don't think it's a hugely important, but you definitely want to cover your weaknesses. And I would say armored enemies are definitely a weakness here, like Stingtails and Brundles and Curonars. So maybe there's a reason to take this. It does mean we're going to be taking longer against things like Praetorians, for example, especially the oppressors and enemies, like boss enemies as well. Praetorians, I'm not too worried. This means we can actually do better when shooting at them from any angle. The other enemies, particularly bosses, maybe don't need to be considered too much because this is not the kind of build that you would use against that kind of thing. I think you could get by using this in any mission type, but Industrial Sabotage and Elimination are definitely not where it shines. In fact, they are where its weaknesses show. So I wouldn't recommend using it for those. It's not a all-rounder necessarily. It's just, in my opinion, a very fun, satisfying way of using the PGL in a more traditional fashion. And I appreciate the ability to actually do that. So perk setup is extremely normal. You know me, dash, heightened senses, fawns, vampire. Resupplier can take or leave it. I really enjoy it. It's just up to you. It's not specific to the build. I didn't actually explain turret whip, but I guess I can now. My basic turret setup is always this. It has been for a while. There is a lot of value in the flexibility of having quick build or quick deploy. There really is. But I haven't found myself needing it too strongly. I don't think it can actually save you. And I want that extra ammo because we're going to be using turret whip a fair amount. You're quite the grenadier in this build. It is actually a thematic element to this. We've got a lot of explosions going on. And for ammo as well, we take Gemini. In fact, I often don't build the second turret. I do if I'm trying to set up a kill box of some kind. Especially on something like a salvage op, which we might do. But yeah, it's mainly for the ammo there because of turret whip, of course. Tier 3, I've always preferred stun. It just gives them a bit of crowd control. It means it takes a bit of the edge off for you, so you don't have to think about that as much. I don't think the turret's going to get much out of hardened rounds, to be honest. Although they definitely could. It would increase body shot damage and could even help against those sort of armoured enemies, but I've always preferred stun, and I'm never going to want expanded ammo capacity, and no one ever will, Go Chip, okay? This is one of the things that proves that support tools need a look over. And so does Defender System, because no one's ever not going to use Defender System, right? I know I'm using Turret Whip, so you'd be like, why are you using Hawkeye System? I don't care. I don't care. Grenade, Plasma Burster. Why? Well, I mean, Lure is an awkward one because you might think, oh, you should probably use Lure. You've got a big explosion. Yeah, but I don't have that many if I don't take a proper grenade. SSG would definitely cover for the weaknesses of the build, but Plasma Burster does a little bit as well. Plasma Burster functions well as a crowd clearer as well as a crowd controller. In fact, in this case, for this build, it's actually mostly used for fearing Praetorians because our PGL is not particularly reliable at doing that. So, Plasma Burster is an easy in, provides decent crowd control and crowd clearing, much like Turret Whip, and much like the PGL, I'd say, because of that base fear chance. It's extremely effective against Mactera. Lucky for us, first mission we're doing, got Mactera Plague, which I'm actually really, really happy about. It's Mactera Plagues are where this build has shined for me a lot. So I'm actually really excited to be able to show that off. Look at that, guys. Industrial Sabotage with Parasites. And yeah, that's it. I mean, you know, armor rig's not important. Just take breathing room and don't take deep pockets or bigger mineral bag. That's all I ask. So, without further ado, I need to show off this build. We're going to want to be showing it off in mainly for crowd clearing purposes, I would say. There isn't going to be much boss fighting. It will be fine if we did come across a boss, but I'd rather just do this basic swarm fighting is where this build shines. In my opinion, genuinely more than a lot of my other builds. So, for example, a build that I greatly appreciate is, of course, the Robot Killer. But this is much more of a boss fighter. This is for elimination and industrial sabotage. And if it's not that, then it actually kind of suffers. This does well with everything else. Maybe not salvage op, I don't know. I think salvage op might be a decent second mission for us to do. Only one at the moment. Also, look at that. Egg mining elimination. Egg mining elimination. Whatever. Let's kill some Macteras. That's two. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Beautiful. Right, there's our Brundle.
Brundle down!
That was perfect. That's exactly what I could end the video here. I'm not going to though. Do forgive me though if I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't been playing the game regularly recently. I guess you could call it regular though, due to regular intervals where I've mainly been playing for these videos. But I finished the Season 4 pass a while ago. I'm pretty much on the cusp of finishing the cosmetic tree. I only need one more script, which I can get from a challenge that I already have active. And I don't want to exactly finish Season 4 until we get some news on Season 5, which should happen this week anyway. It should have already happened actually. I wonder what the future's like. How's that Season 5 roadmap looking? And that's fine. I mean, I've done pretty much all of Season 4, which is pretty normal. You know, I still play a little bit, but you know, I've got other stuff I'm playing as well. I'm playing a lot of games I've played before at the moment, like Skyrim and Hades, but I'm sort of finalising my time with them, at least for a while. Anyway, you don't want to hear this. Actually, maybe you do. I think one thing I'm going to try and do before the swarm comes, it should not be too long, is actually do this spitballer, because it's not a strength of ours, spitballers, exactly. Especially close range. I mean, look at that, that's pathetic.
Your history.
Bunk. So mid-range would be better, but unfortunately for the Warthog, mid-range against something with a very, I don't know, it doesn't work too well, you know, it just doesn't work too well, which is why I'm willing to use that ammo we have on the PGL to take the edge off a little bit. We do have the flexibility to do that, somewhat. Especially because fire is quite effective against spitballers. So this is a swarm, which is actually really bad for us, and because it's of how the game works, that means we're probably going to get more. I am going to turn the game down as well. But yeah, this is not exactly what we want. I'm probably going to chuck a... Yeah, that's good. That's good. Exciting. I mean, I should just let the turrets handle this. Turrets in Bosco. So maybe you don't need to see it. This is not where the build shines. Unfortunately, that does mean, like, it does bring up the question of where does it shine, and I would say just standard swarms. And if we're going against standard swarms, we're going to do just fine. Most other things, not as much. Which is it's like, it's interesting because that makes it sound kind of bad. Yet I still think I recommend trying the build. Sure. Alright.
Oh. Then I never took note of it.
I wore the bold and brash shirt at the same time. Oh my god! Sorry.
You're right.
Yeah, it's just fine. It's just a big group of Mactera. That's fine. I mean, I'm recording this. I'm paused because I saw a big group of Mactera.
Hello.
Yeah. See?
I'm bothering Harry while he's recording.
He's not well. Yeah, you are.
Let's not play around. We know damn well that I am.
It's not fool around. I'm pissed off.
This is serious business. Not monkey business.
Yeah, well, this will go out after everything gone down.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the
Which is
future's
why we
like.
can't. Yeah.
Cool. That let's say some weird shit.
Well, we could make some assumptions and hope that it pays off.
Cool. That
Like, what?
isolated perk rework update is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe Mikkel whipped out his penis on stream. That was
Can't believe
crazy.
Mikkel got out his dickle.
His little pickle. Mikkel's pickle.
Yeah. Pickle's pickle. Maybe we shouldn't.
I assume you saw
No.
the there was a Reddit post someone made about what people want for next season.
No, I didn't see that. Like genuinely.
Oh. Well, they made a mistake which I'm annoyed by. They didn't actually have fire. Which is odd.
Yeah, that is odd. Is that the mistake?
That's what I see as a mistake. But ultimately, I don't think it changed much because there were some other things like there was like deep dive overhaul, like some stuff like that, which I'm down for. But
Yeah, that could happen.
it didn't get many votes.
No.
But what did was a new game mode.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like 1k, I think, something like that. And then at one point, like 9k was, well, you know, it was a perk rework. Which
What
annoyingly
percentage was that?
It was like probably 45%, maybe.
But it won.
And then like, yeah, it won. Those two were like miles above. Like those two were like, you know, it was 2k. The other ones were like 300 heart max.
Well, what were the other ones then, apart from deep dive thing?
Secondary missions,
Oh yeah. I could go for some of those.
some other things along those lines. Like I don't know. The point being is the perk rework shot up. New game mode was up there as well, which I'm kind of surprised by. Like
Yeah, that feels a little bit thoughtless.
for a new game
Like I am, because I know that if they do it, it's going to be better. Like it's going to be better than Industrial Sabotage. I know but I don't think people in general know that what Ghost Ship think about mission types. I'm surprised that that surprised me because I would just assume it's people. It's like, oh, what mission type? But the last ones were like, you know, the most
Right,
hated thing in the game.
I think the mission type thing, I really think that would have been like drastically reduced had the biomes have been there, which is why I'm kind of mixed with the results. But the point being,
No,
is
it
that,
still
like,
gets it. Yeah,
I
it gets the
think-
point
I think it
across.
obviously with how many votes it had, it clearly was. I'm surprised you didn't see it. It's my thing.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
see it at all.
Ghost Ship must have definitely seen it, and it's not the only one that's been like that. As in, like basically every time anyone brings up perk reworks, it just sets a fire, because that's what everyone fucking wants. And I don't know how many times.
I'm
we
genuinely
need that to
scared.
agree with.
It's kind of scared.
I don't blame you. It's concerning how. I mean, well, I guess that's relevant. We may, by the time that the audience is watching this.
Yeah, I actually forgot that wasn't. You know that this is gonna be post all that stuff. While you were saying all that, I forgot because it could potentially be answered.
That's the fun thing about the pre-recording and the order. What's it? Dramatic irony? Is that when the audience knows something that the people don't?
Is it? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dramatic irony.
So
We don't know what's going
yeah,
on.
there's gonna be some of that. Hopefully.
Do this.
Hope the fucking Lord that they reveal the perk rework during the stream or at the end of the stream. And that's all they need to reveal as well. I think that's could also be said. Like they could literally just say perk rework and then close the fucking stream and like the community would just ignite, which maybe that has already happened. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that Axis Cronus video was good, wasn't it? Where he talked about perk rework.
Are you making shit up?
Yeah, no, it's already happened. You know, the other day,
When?
after they said they were doing the perk rework, Access Kronos did a video
Oh.
on it, and he's like, I think it should be like this. This isn't. I don't think this is actually a good idea. I'm saying these.
I think he was like, oh, I think all the perks should help speed play and help you.
Yeah,
speed
yeah. I
through
think there should be a perk that adds a timer.
that, like halves the timer.
And the
of every
active,
perk.
like, it's an active, and when you use the active ability, it, like, stops time. Except for you. Wait, that's a good idea. Fuck.
Just like freezes all entities.
I mean, a time stop would be pretty ridiculous. Just in main concept, I think it could be anything could be balanced, but I don't know how that would feel. That would feel stupid in Deep Rock, but I'd still welcome
do
it.
some silly, goofy things. Like, if they were willing to just spend the minimal things that we have, they could start like, I don't know, just superpowers. It's like
They like
freeze
things that you can like
just like
take, like
AoE freeze.
you know, like potions. They give them powers.
Well, it would be like active. They would. I was about to say Berserker, but that's
Berserker brew.
So, but yeah, more stuff like Berserker would be kind of interesting.
One of my weird ideas.
Not that people actually quite like Berserker. I mean, it's not hated actually. I think it's respected, but it's not.
Is it
bad.
respected? I feel like respect requires like adherence of some kind or admiration. It's not popular enough to be respected. It's just not, you know, shit hot.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Hot.
No, it's not hot. Anyway, I can't do this. So I can do this, but I mean, I can't keep recording this because it's not relevant at all. It's gonna
Alright.
poison the video, so I'm gonna pause.
Because I
Big
just
bacteria.
wanted to go to see
Ow. There you go. Just
If-
thought I'd show you that. Important.
if like someone basically did one of those things again, like what do people want, and they didn't put a perk tier list, like how much of the comment
Tier list?
was
Perk tier list.
that what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, really work. Yeah.
Brain rot.
And that would be pretty interesting.
Can't get
It
tier
is
list
a
off the
little
brain. You
bit.
can't get...
Ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a swarm coming, so I can. Hello, everyone.
Guess who's back? But for them, that was like instant.
Yeah, it's weird. I always forget that it is instant and it's not like a blank screen for the entire time it's paused. You know, like, why the fuck would it be? Why?
Yeah, definitely weirder to assume that they're just sitting
It's
there
much
with
weirder.
nothing going on. But it's also pretty hard to picture like tiny bending like that.
Yeah, I'm a magician. I've got time powers.
Reloading.
It's like that guy who's like gets like he like gets like imagine that he's Geralt or something to get jacked, and he's like taking like protein shakes or like potions that help him fight monsters or something. He role plays like, so it's like how he motivates himself through role play.
I think I've seen something similar to that recently.
There's recharging.
Oh yeah, it was a guy who it was green text. It was a guy who like
Oh, boy.
idolizes like Hank Hill, I think, like from the
Hank Hill, from King of the Hill.
That's the one. And like he basically lived his life in like as he just trying to act out like what he would do in situations and like
Yeah.
just like that kind of stuff.
What would
Just
Hank do in
covered
this
a pretty
situation?
solid life. Like,
Does he sell propane then?
I don't know, probably. I'm not sure when that for, but it's just it doesn't seem like that bad of an idea. Although
Who would you pick then?
Who would I want to
Yeah.
live like? Do you have an idea? I guess this is like fictional or real, but probably more fictional, right?
Yeah, I'd say fictional. What am I doing?
You're struggling in a fight.
No, I'm struggling to climb a wall. I want to live my life like
Really hard. It's really fucking hard.
like
Getting supplies.
Javik.
Javik?
Yeah,
That's from Skyrim.
the Prothean.
Oh right. Fuck Javik.
All right,
I
Brynjolf
wanna live my
then.
life like Grunt.
Grunt. I want to live my life like
Alright.
Brynjolf. I want to go up to random people and say, "Never done honest day's work with that coin you're carrying." Wealth is my business. Help me out, and I can add to yours.
How many like people do you think you would have to approach like that until you find someone that like gets it? Like
Not
how
that many,
people,
genuinely.
if you were just like standing in a highway, or, like road highway, like
A road
a
highway.
shop center,
Oh yeah.
and you're just kind of standing there, and you just walk up to someone and say that.
I can take a hint, lass. Come find me at the market when you're ready. That's what you say. That's what you said if you say no.
You really can't turn him down.
It's like when
Really
he
not
like
great
it's like when he
person,
says
but,
it's like dragons are bad for business. Is like what's something you can say to like turn him down, and he says passing up on a deal is worse or something. It's like what? Oh shit! I got myself killed in the joy.
Can't be how enjoy while playing people.
The humor of Brynjolf.
I feel like that's something they did wrong in Starfield. They tried to make people actual characters, and not just like surface level schmucks. Like they tried really hard to give people depth.
What are you talking about?
Really work.
Brynjolf
because
is
they're not
full
good
of
at it.
depth.
Name one thing other than that he wants money.
He
I called for Molly.
I'm gonna pause the recording. Oh,
But
Down.
yeah,
What's the dealing?
I don't think they appreciate that kind of thing over there.
yeah,
They
good
claim
say
and
soft.
pretend to want to do like really like actual conversations. Like when yours is like not good like that. They're like, no, you can't just do that. You gotta like have a point and like elaborate and such. But then when you like have a point and elaborate, they only ever respond with like a couple words, dismissing it all.
One word responses, grunts, murmurs, husk of intelligence.
Nitro's been withdrawn and supply pod is
It's
inbound.
just the sound of their jaw grating across the floor as they walk.
Rock and roll.
So also, possibly by this time, I would have put out a movie review. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
By this time, like now, or like by this time in this video?
Well, by this time just means at any point before this time, the video comes out. Yeah.
Are you recording that or that language?
I don't know when. I was gonna do it to date as well. Might. I don't know. Oh, this is dangerous.
Plasma grenade.
This is also a situation where passive bursters can actually do something to make their something. They're tickling me! Oh, I got killed. Someone looked at me. Someone cycled past and looked at my window. What the fuck? Fuck off.
Thanks, Bosco.
Who the hell do you think you are?
The last of the wave
Well.
is approaching you now. Keep it
Players recharging.
And whose fault is it that I'm playing badly.
Me.
Tyler.
Me. Apparently me simply... I guess me being here but not being there makes you worse.
It's specifically recording though.
What about stream?
What are you talking about? What streams? I mean, this would make perfect sense. See, okay, I would admit that what's currently happening is actually kind of... I assume this is what you were imagining I could do when you suggested that I record these during a stream. Whereas this shit that we're talking right now would be retained. I mean, it currently is actually. I am still recording, but this would be in the stream, but wouldn't be recorded. That's basically what you're imagining, isn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I need to change my batteries. I feel like it's almost like the video game delays thing, but people already understand it, or maybe don't. I'm confused. Where additional photography is what they actually call, what reshoots are meant to be called. It's actually really common and really normal. It's not usually because something went wrong. It's just because sometimes just retroactively looking at something exposes what could be missing from it. Don't always think of everything on the day. But really, like the Lord of the Rings had so many fucking reshoots, so much additional photography. They filmed stuff after like they got the Oscars, for example, for Return of the King. That was for the extended edition though. The stuff that was just for the extended edition.
Wait, what? They filmed stuff after the movie already come out?
After the theatrical release, yeah. It wasn't for the theatrical release, luckily, but yeah, they just could. Yeah. Pretty cool, eh? Alright, that mission's over. I mean, that showed Mactera's getting killed. Which is something that this is really good at. I mean, it didn't show much else. I mean, the problem is there weren't really any really good grunt hordes. That's what I want as well. Because this build, it's not great at much. It's just really good at handling normal swarms. A bit awkward. It's probably going to be one of the first build showcases where I don't do an elimination. Elimination is like become like a staple of the series, basically, because it's like, it's not actually perfect really, but the thing is it has like massive pressure waves that pretty reliably, like, massive groups of grunts. Like, yeah, that's what I want. And then also I want to fight like bosses as well. Like, this is it.
The best demonstration that your build is good at both things, really, isn't it?
Yeah, when it is good at both things.
Like,
yeah. Like, I don't really have a PGL build that I think is really straight up good at every mission type. I think the only thing that would come closer in terms of actual ways you could do that would probably have to be Fat Boy, unfortunately. Much to my dismay. His Fat Boy is strong against everything, obviously. But especially things like Caretaker and Hive Guards, because of how they work.
yeah.
So there will be a Fat Boy video at some point. It's probably going to end up being like, probably going to end up saying it's bad, but sorry everyone.
Yeah. Is there a difference between the is it good or bad or whatever those series are build showcase? Those are different things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are different. That's right. Huh?
And would the Fat Boy be a build showcase or is it good or bad?
Well, I might sort of not do the good or bad thing exactly as it was done in that video. I might actually do some stuff beforehand and try and figure out a build. I might still say that it's shit, but I'll still have like a definitive build that I think is probably the best for that thing. Rather than just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. The thing is, it didn't go down particularly well, but I don't know if that's because
Commencing. Good work.
it was bad or it's because it was like Ice Storm, because Ice Storm was like very surprisingly not hated by people. And people were like, why are you questioning it? It's good. What are you doing? I'm like, what?
You're using it wrong.
I mean, I was. I have been. I know how to use it now, and I like it.
Wrong.
Die. Also, I took arm breaking basically for stingtails, and there weren't any stingtails. Arm breaking on the Warthog, by the way. Oh wow, an industrial sabotage. What did I say? I said that I would do a salvage op. The only salvage op has rival presence on it, and that really doesn't work. Yeah, this build could be better.
Fire.
Actually, I could do it. I think I could do it.
Assignment mission card is ready. Time to leave.
And I did explain that the primary weapon's not too married to PGL, not that much. So, actually, hold on. But if it's a salvage op, then, but there's turrets. There's going to be turrets, and it's salt pit, so there's going to be Ironars. I've got armor breaking. Fuck it. I might fail this mission, but that is the point. But I'm doing it anyway. I have failed before, like at least twice, which is embarrassing. And I can't remember what video it was. So.
Maybe you were dying earlier. What did you do the mission?
You've gone. I can't understand anything you're saying. I can't understand it.
Odd.
This is a
Oh.
salvage mission.
Oh my god.
His crew lost their mules, their drop pod, and the line.
Turret controllers in the spawn room.
Find and repair the lost mules, get the drop pod operational, and return to base. Expect
Can this do
heavy
that?
escalation.
It can. Okay, I can one-shot sniper turrets with the PGL. Hello.
Repulsion turret.
Oh my god. Okay, this actually is where turret whip's going to be useful. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, not being very useful. Fuck! Fuck off! There we go, see? Very useful. Oh my god, did you just hit a fucking piece of terrain? I hate women. You want to destroy a burst turret? Just walk around it. I'll hit it with your pickaxe. Was this going to be the best turret controller hacking you've ever seen? I'm getting attacked by shredders at the very moment I decide to start hacking. Fuck! I can't do it. Well, that was embarrassing. Alright, this time though, for sure. So there's a mod that I saw that swaps out. I didn't see it. I saw someone mention it. It like swaps out the hacking on the jet boots for the one that like for the trollbot hacking minigame, which I don't think that's better.
Gotta wait for the rates on. Let's show them something.
One of which people have got a lot more training on. Like,
Which one?
It took me like all of season 1 to learn how to do that fucking hacking minigame.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they should put it in the fucking rig, man. Isn't that the point? I mean, I know it's meant to be fun, but like, first of all, you can add more variety and also like train people on them. I think that's a really, that would be a really good thing to add, like a rival one, and it has both of the different things in it. Or it's like, I think I said, I mean, this would require a little bit more work, but I think it could be really fun for people. Where like, it swaps between the two, like alternates and gets faster as every time. It's like an infinite loop. And then eventually gets to the point where like all the wires are active as well. That would be pretty horrible. You could have them separate. Either way, I think they both should be in the space rig. Even if it's just one machine.
Give me some sugar.
More arcade machines, please. I don't know why I'm asking for that, but no, I do know why I'm asking for that, because it's actually, the arcade machine is good.
Yeah, I think there's, I remember them saying, like, I don't think they'd be against doing another one if they have a reason to add another.
You do have a reason, it's already there. That's why they can't see it, because it's pre-existing.
Yeah, they don't look back.
And, they do. But, I mean, if you mean in terms of actual changes, though, it's hard to deny. They don't make as much changes to previously added things as they should. But they think about it. They're a bit overwhelmed.
Squash 'em.
Speaking of overwhelmed, I have 2 paths to choose from, so I'm just going to brain fart and not do anything.
Platforms placed. Go. Get to work.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot I was making a video. Sing Tails.
Good thing you're still equipped for him. Alright?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I was considering taking Seeker round, which would have been very good for them, but like I think it's not actually amazing, but I do think Seeker round is up there in the most underrated because people don't understand it. They're like, I can do really inefficient crowd clearing with explosive chemical rounds, or I can actually do quite well with executioner. So like, okay. I can do so much damage, and there's no other way to build the smart rifle that's acceptable. And then I sigh and shit myself. They don't understand how armor works.
Got all in one motion.
First of all, I think the benefits of being able to hold a lock around corners and fire around corners is obvious, or even if it's slightly niche. And I think that's why I think people see that. Like they get it, but they think that's where it stops. So they think that's not actually that useful. That's all it does. It's like, yeah, you're right. That's not all it does, though. Dwibbit.
No.
It ignores armor. It ignores armor. Guess what armor does? Reduces damage. Guess what happens when you ignore armor, bozo? Guess what? That's right. You're doing more damage. Seeker rounds is coming up large. It's not. Nothing's happened because it's not going to get buffed. And also, I don't think it's overpowered either. It's not even that strong, but it's still like I just don't think people get it, and it annoys me.
One platform ready to use. Needs assembly.
Whatever. Are there any other ones like that?
Armed and ready.
And I'm asking myself that because I'm pretty sure there are.
I ordered a resupply.
I think Overdrive Booster, there's a certain person I know that drastically,
No, Overclock Booster that people don't understand because they think it's good, and that because we don't understand it.
no, I think that's somebody that you don't understand it. It's basically, it's just a clean, right?
Yeah, it's just a clean, sure. Just a clean. Doubles my ammo consumption. Oh, it's clean. Dickheads.
Whenever you want.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just have like more ammo in general. But that's a better option. I'll take the clean. I'll take the actual clean. Thank you very much. I'll take the...
It does do double damage with double ammo.
It does more than double the damage. That's the point. It does 2.5
so
times
it-
damage, but like it's so fucking difficult to control. And because of how fragile it is, it's never worth using without boosting anyway. So it is basically hyper propellant, except you have to actually hold it on a target, which is fickle and wasteful. Because you can't actually save ammo by, like, you know, stopping right when you kill something. It will be so close to being done, or it will be done, or you'll swap out and lose half. You might like save like 1 ammo if you're lucky. It's shit. It's awful. It sucks. That's an overclock that has the same problems as the PGL, where it's being held back because people like it. In that same vein, I would say feedback loop is kind of just underrated. I think people understand it just fine, but it's better than people think. It should be used more.
One sentry gun ready to be built.
Go on.
Alright, I'll take that to heart.
Sentry done. Go get him, boy.
You got something to say? Buddy?
Yeah, you're a shrimp.
I'm a shrimp.
Hooser. A shrimp hooser.
Armed and ready.
Shrimpalooza. So I was just thinking this is probably going to be really shit, but I realised it's still actually pretty standard. This is actually more commentary. I haven't shown...
Do you normally talk? Well,
Yeah, but it's not... Well, kind of. Not really. Not... And it's still mostly been... I have definitely let it like record a bit too much. But this might be okay. I'm gonna pause now though. Hey, we're talking about how there's no fucking fantasy stuff in cinema. Because like, you know, like there's like serious and like silly and funny and other all kind of variations of all the other kinds of things. Other
there's even, like,
genres.
funny horror,
Yeah.
like you get stuff like that. But I mean, I think the D&D one.
You know, there hasn't been anything that's even come close to Lord of the Rings since Lord of the Rings. And but I mean, I don't mean like nothing will probably come close, but I mean just something that fantasy, live action fantasy that does really well and is quite serious as well. That it's just absent.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I don't know what it would take. It would probably just take someone doing a good movie adaptation of a book, and just no one's reading them or paying attention to them.
Yeah.
And it just needs to be some big shot movie guy that's like, hey,
Well, the problem is all of the most influential directors they just don't seem to do fantasy, and the only one who does isn't doing anything. Peter Jackson.
hey, you gotta give it that he got burned pretty bad.
No, I know. I mean, I am one of the people who will sing his praises more than anyone else. I'm the guy who has to take that The Hobbit is the reason why he's a genius. So, it's fine. And I do believe that. I mean, I don't know if genius is the right word. I mean, I don't like the word genius because I don't think Peter Jackson's a genius. I think he's just a guy.
Good.
He's just a dude. A really fucking talented, resourceful person. And The Hobbit proves that more than Lord of the Rings, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because he had like prime conditions, prime source to make prime fucking movies.
Yeah, I'd say the most fantasy stuff at the moment is honestly like fucking like the monster films. But then again, they're very sci-fi at the same time, like the Godzilla stuff,
Monster.
like Godzilla versus Kong. But
Alright.
it's like I don't actually know what you would call that. Really, I guess monster film is almost a genre.
Oh, kaiju. Right.
Kaiju film.
Let's get that
Nemesis.
fucking out of the way. Wow. A nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis.
Yeah. I don't know. I think fantasy. It's movies. It's all right shows, not Like I think, I don't know, like Netflix ones seem to be going pretty well.
Do they?
Pretty well, and I think that's what.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not sure about what.
Netflix is doing well.
What? You
Fantasy.
know how Netflix like even about the worst dog shit tiers shit, right? Like that's Netflix, right? It pumps out fucking Big Mouth next to like BoJack Horseman, like that kind of shit. They did Arcane.
Oh yeah, Arcane.
Right.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think it's fantasy.
Ammo taken.
Obviously went down pretty well, which looks very fantasy. Like I'm interested in watching it. So I guess I'll look it up.
This one's for Carl.
Shape shifting core. I would also say technically, and this actually is a movie. Puss in Boots is a fantasy.
Yeah, but hold on. This is all animated, which is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I'm just noticing it. I'm just noticing its
Yeah.
absence. Like animation's cool. Like obviously, and like I think it's actually that's just kind of sick. I just feel like every other genre has. Well, I mean, there's no horror animation. I suppose.
Yeah, they tried it. Like they essentially because it's Halloween now. I'm on Netflix, and got the spooky section. They tried, and I think I heard, and it looks quite bad. I think. So yeah, I guess animation is not great for horror, or vice versa.
In that new
But
Saw movie,
another example is like Castlevania.
Castlevania, which is apparently people don't like, which I didn't realise.
Really?
Yeah.
Like all of it.
Well, I mean, the new series is getting fucking clowned on, and it's put me off it actually. I don't think I will.
I really can't use this for anything.
I don't know. Something's wrong with it.
I saw a little bit of a clip of it just on Netflix, and it seemed like some fun slavery topics, which looked
Yeah,
nice.
I'm just not like interested. Honest.
Yeah.
Crusher, bloody
Like I think I kind of get the Castlevania issues actually now. I mean the first 2 seasons are pretty pure. That's the thing.
got no flair.
Season 3 is bad. Actually, I'll admit that. Or I would agree with that. And season 4 was just had a really good finale. So maybe it
And
wasn't
that's
as good as
the
I thought.
finale's finale, so
Yeah.
With the minerals here.
Sorry, I need to
Wow.
unpause. This looks like a good group of assholes to rupture. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. I'm actually gonna have to put a fucking like notice like, at the beginning of the video. It's just like skip if you want to see something cool. Skip to this part because you're probably not going to watch for that long. Worth it. I mean, maybe not. I mean, you can achieve this pretty easily yourself, but. Yeah, I have 4 gunks. I'm on a salvage job. I have 4 gunks units I need to deposit, and I've sent the mule back like to the drop pod.
My nose
I
on
don't have the mule,
ice rink.
which I guess is normal for a it's like a point extraction. Anyway,
what it's doing there, like a play or something?
no, he's just doing like a he's just there.
Just like stand up.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but it's not like stand-up comedy. He's just doing a show, one-man show.
Oh god.
What?
I've never in a million years heard one of them be good.
Watch out! Hot plasma!
Well, it's basically going to be what the Brian Blessed thing was, except like on a stage. He's actually just going to be just like telling stories like about his life and then answering questions. And he is a comedian. He's like a comic. He's a comedic actor. What?
I mentioned he's pretty old.
No, he's 68.
So yeah.
Yeah, but not like, you know, he's not that old.
I guess he's younger than my granddad.
Hold on, it's the attack of the Coronas. At least 50 younglings. Pilot's telling you a story about his granddad. I don't know if he wants to tell it.
Yeah, we just sitting there, and he just starts talking about like his time working as like a butcher or something, and he's just there like, oh yeah, you always got to be like careful with knives and that, and like don't be too cocky. Or you'll end up like, I don't know his name, Jim. Let's go with who
One-eyed Jim
died and bled out in front of him, like in his arms.
Okay.
So he like accidentally cut his artery in the leg.
That just sounds too dramatic to be real.
Yeah, except it definitely was, because you wouldn't have made that up, and he had the look of his eyes of like not sadness, because it happened so long ago and he'd gotten used to it, or not used to it, but just solemn. And like, oh,
Solemnity.
like, thanks for that, Granddad.
Nice one. Good one. Oh, I got curse sight, so we have time on the block. I mean, if it was Praetorians, I just wouldn't show it because I wouldn't be able to do anything special. But the PGL can actually do the Mac Terrors.
Poor Mac Terrors. Mac Daddies.
Would the Mac Terror like to please fly over the ground?
Probably not. There's a game on Game Pass.
Is there? Really?
It's a new Warhammer game.
Oh yeah.
Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, which means essentially nothing to me, but it's co-op, and there's a really large bloke, and I like the look of him.
Yep. That's Warhammer.
Yeah, you got a taste of Warhammer, didn't you? With that Bolt Shark.
Bolt Shark. Bolt Shark.
Yeah.
Bolt Gun. Yeah.
Star.
I actually forgot to explain the breakpoint thing. I kept banging on about it in the intro. Basically, I can set guards on fire, which might sound stupid. If you know, see, this is the thing. I could convince a layman that that's like really significant, but someone who actually knows anything about the game would be like, "What do you mean? That's like guards will never die from being set on fire. You fucking oaf!" But yeah, that's true. Correct, actually. Be correct. But they will keep each other on fire if there are multiple guards in the same space.
So
And also, I'm not sacrificing much to achieve this either. And it's going to do better than... It's going to do far better than RJ250 against guards, due to the fact it can set them on fire and does more damage overall. So it is significant. Like, I don't quite like the fact that... like RJ250 leaves a lot out. Well, it doesn't actually. It's mainly just guards. And this doesn't actually kill them either. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
There you are.
I'm talking about... Hooking out my arsehole! I am. I is. I is.
Oh.
My pronouns are I is. Alright, here's an oppressor. So, tip about oppressors, do not shoot the grenade launcher at them. This is
Never really
exactly what...
actually hyper-repellent.
This is exactly what the Warhawk is here for. Although, because we took arm break into the damage, we're not quite as good as they could be. Well, one clip is a third, and you can get 2 clips out before it turns around. So that's 2/3, and then a power attack and a couple more shots. So it's really not bad. It's just not quick. I mean, you know, Access Chrono, speed is the name of the game.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
You just have to get it done, really.
Yeah.
That's the main goal.
Yeah.
Initiated. Do not leave the triangulation zone, or we will lose the connection. We only got one shot at this.
Not ready. Flares recharging.
Wizard with the Gun is coming out soon.
Woo! Yeah, Wizard with a Gun. Go.
Triangulation at 50%.
Looks like a roguelike. It's a roguelike.
Oh, it's co-op, so imagine.
wait, what the
Not.
hell?
Oh wait, there are co-op.
Online cooperative sandbox survival game. That was not a what would it look like? Did it get it just to get a cut?
Boom, baby!
There's that Hellboy game coming out at some point. It actually looked kind of cool. Hellboy's voiced by Lance Reddick, the late great Lance Reddick.
Bringing out Send the Arrival again. Do you remember that?
No.
Did you see that?
What?
It was like after Send the Occasions, they added they made like an actual bigger, better one.
What are you talking about?
Slenderman.
Oh, Slenderman. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. Apparently, I guess they've remastered it about 10 years later. It's
Great.
one of the only horror games I ever managed to play.
What do you mean by manage?
I loaded it, I played it for about an hour, and then I closed it.
But what do you mean you couldn't? What does couldn't manage mean here? That you couldn't like bring yourself to?
I never loaded it up in the first place.
You were scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Cells connected. Now you just need
Lamau.
the fuel cells and the charge sequence will begin.
Lol. What a
Sorry,
pussy.
what horror game have you played?
Layers of Fear.
Is that the one painted?
Yeah, finished it.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Well, I watched someone play it.
But I did it with Mum, so I didn't.
I wasn't controlling it.
Your
but-
Mum took turns.
Right.
It was painful. watching
I
her do it.
played Rabbids.
No idea what she was doing.
Rayman Legends.
it's-
That's a horror game. So.
It's armed and ready.
Oh, it's
Yeah. Yup.
not scary.
I played a bit of Dead Space. I've never been. I mean, I don't think horror games are very good usually. Like horror films. How is that the case? Why are both horror films and horror games like just really easy to make, like really cheap to make? Because the genre doesn't demand much from it. Like, why is that the case? Like, it's the
anything,
parameters are
the
so
genre
easy to
actually-
meet.
It actually demands the opposite the more effective it tends to be.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, there is nothing scarier than the human amount. It will say people will come up with a scarier thing than you will. It's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah. That's why you don't show the monster in light until the very end.
Yeah, unless you're making a decision to reveal the monster really early.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, maybe it isn't always. And that was the example of was a lot of shit for. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, we didn't actually get the name of the film.
Should just stop talking, shouldn't I?
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why are these no's coming out so well?
I don't know.
Crystal clear.
Crust.
Crystal clear.
Clam.
I'm the crusty crab.
No more. Stay close.
I am the one who knocks.
Fuel cells fully charged. Drop pod engine powering up. Hold your ground. We're
I'm not sure if I
almost
mentioned
ready
this,
to
but
pull
the
you in.
new Assassin's Creed's coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
is it on Gay Pass?
Pod reactor
No,
spooling up.
but it
Whatever.
probably will be. Like, there's also a Ubisoft Plus.
Yeah.
That's this thing they've added. There's also GTA Plus,
GTA?
which I don't know if you've seen.
No.
What the hell? What was?
I don't know.
Oh no, it's there. Scroll. Yeah, Games Own Games, Xbox Game Pass, EA Play, Games with Gold, owned app.
Calculating orbital trajectory.
Yeah, like Ubisoft. Just appeared, I think.
Powering radiation shielding.
This whole thing really does speak to the fact of these videos that you don't need to watch beyond the introduction. The rest of it's just evidence if you need it, basically. It's the idea. Apart from that, I'm just
Well, you just want a bit of
bidding through.
footage to
Just want a bit of incomprehensible commentary from Tyler.
fuck you, fuck off.
It's time to bring it all home. Get on board. We're leaving with or without.
About to. It's over! Not quite over. I'm fine. Out of the mouth. I don't see why Stingtail wouldn't be able to pull you up the drop board when it's leaving. He just hit me. What'd I tell you? Anyway, that was... I think I remember conceiving this when I thought about putting this on the list of builds that I would make videos for. It's like the Grenadier build, which is not inherently the case. Like, I don't think you have to use the Warthog, but it's just... That just adds to all the explosions. We've got PGL, we've got plasma grenades, we've got turret whip. So many explosions. It's beautiful. And that's why, though, it's not good at that much. Because explosions are not inherently that strong. But if you don't have to fight like a boss or anything like that, it'll get the job done. And it's a really satisfying way of using the PGL that spits in the face of the shitty meta. That's what it comes down to. It's the reason why Clean Sweep is my favourite overclock on the PGL. I don't think it gets enough attention because the other three are just hogging the spotlight. Why did I go, what the hell was that? Why did my voice change? My accent changed. But that happens sometimes and I just can't control it. I just say things differently. I don't know why. It's really upsetting. But something I do is obviously I tend to offer alternatives or ways that you can modify it and still keep the original essence of the build. I would say the PGL is the thing you want to leave the most intact, but so don't change it, thank you. But primary though, like I said, any of these are fine. This stubby build is obviously really weird. I would probably say if you want to use stubby, probably use the Refire Booster. But this Smart Rifle 1, I have used a fair amount of this, and it's pretty good because Seagrounds is good, and I sort of went on a tirade about that anyway, so that's a valid alternative. And it arguably does cover the weaknesses more because it's got decent long range single target and the Warthog doesn't. So that one could actually be a bit more universal. Especially against something like the Caretaker, which the Warthog is actually pretty shit against. If you're going into Industrial Sabotage, the Warthog's just not it. Unfortunately. But yeah. That's it. Thank you, Tyler.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, subscribe, and lick the notification bell. If you want to see more build showcases or stay on top of anything and everything to do with your mum, Deep Rock Galactic. That's all.
Bye-bye.
Shut the fuck up.
Bye-bye.
Shut the fuck up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Shut the fuck up.
Goodbye from Tyler. That's goodbye from Tyler. That's good.
Goodbye from Harry.
And that's goodbye from me. Goodbye.